I came to this country with calloused hands and dreams stitched inside a backpack. My name is Mateo Rivera, and I crossed from Michoacan, Mexico 5 years ago with my pregnant wife, Luisa, chasing freedom. Freedom costs more than money. It costs dignity, sweat, and silence. We lived in a cramped one-bedroom apartment with peeling walls, and I ran a little hot dog cart we called El Corazon. Every morning, I kissed my son Emiliano on his forehead and told him, "Papá se va a pelear por nosotros." I didn't know how many fights I'd face. The first time they came, I thought it was a joke. 2 police officers, both black men in crisp uniforms, swaggered up to my cart like they owned the street. "What's cooking, taco truck?" "It's a hot dog cart, sir." "Looks like you're making money. You want to keep this spot, you gotta share the wealth." I pay for my permit. I have my license." "Your permit don't stop ICE from snatching you up. Keep arguing. We make one call." They took $40, 2 hot dogs, and a bag of buns. Said they'd be back next week. I stood frozen behind the cart for 10 minutes after they left. Not because of fear, because of humiliation. 3 days later, Mr. Halprin, our landlord, banged on the door so hard he cracked the wood. "You're late. One more day and I'm tossing you and your little burrito family out."
"We just need until Friday. Mateo's working."
"I don't care. You people always promise and never pay. Maybe immigration needs to know who's living here too." "You can't say that." I just did. I wanted to swing, but I looked at Emiliano, clutching his toy car with wide, scared eyes. Not now. That Friday, I was back at the cart on 7th and Main, sweating under the sun. They showed up again. "You acting deaf now, Mateo? Where's our lunch?" I don't have much today." "I'll make it simple. Give us the money, or ICE hears you got cousins crossing soon." A woman in a red coat was recording with her phone. Sharp eyes, camera around her neck.
"Are they harassing you?"
"This ain't your business."
"It is now. I saw everything. I'm recording."
They scowled, but walked away.
"You okay?"
"They do this every week. They say they'll report me to ICE."
"My name's Zaraya. I run a YouTube channel. Let me tell your story."
3 days later, I sat in her studio. "My name is Mateo Rivera. I am not a criminal. I work 14 hours a day, 6 days a week, selling hot dogs so my son can eat. But every week, 2 police officers take my money. They threaten me. Say they'll call ICE. I'm tired of being afraid." She titled the video, "They threaten to call ICE unless he pays." Listen to Mateo. 1 million views in 12 hours. By night, body cam leaks from other vendors surfaced. People marched downtown. Signs read, "Immigrants feed this country." ICE is not a weapon. El Corazon beats strong. Zaraya uncovered Roland took bribes from a mechanic to ignore dumping. Tate pocketed cash from street vendors. Both took gang protection money until one gang refused to pay. Then came fake arrests. The city couldn't look away. On the day of the trial, the courtroom was packed. Cameras, reporters, angry vendors, even quiet officers ashamed of the badge they still wore. The judge banged the gavel, but the silence came only when the mechanic stood. "They destroyed my life. I paid them to ignore oil dumping, yes, but when I stopped paying, they planted drugs in my truck. My shop closed in a week. My kids cried asking why we had to sleep in our car." He broke down on the stand. The jury looked away, some with tears in their eyes. Then came testimony from a gang informant. "They took money every month. Tate used to call it insurance. But when MS-13 refused, they grabbed one of the kids, slapped on fake charges. That's when things got ugly. They made enemies they couldn't scare." In the gallery, Tate's wife wept, alone. Roland's seat for family remained empty. Both officers were fired and charged with bribery, extortion, and abuse of power. They were sentenced to federal prison. After sentencing, the fallout spread like blood in water. Roland's wife filed for divorce the next day, citing years of lies and emotional abuse. "He brought shame to our name," she told reporters. "He chose the streets over his family." Tate's story was even darker. Once the footage and bribe records became public, his wife packed up their children and fled. "We don't want his last name anymore," she said. In prison, their past caught up fast. Inside, they found familiar faces. gang members they'd once threatened and arrested. Roland was beaten badly in the showers. Tate, broken and isolated, took his own life in his cell. Justice had circled back. Roland was recognized immediately. In the showers, 3 men surrounded him. He left that day with a shattered orbital socket, 3 broken ribs, and silence stitched into his swollen lips. Tate didn't last as long. 2 weeks in, he was found in his cell, cold, a torn sheet wrapped around his neck and tied to a rusted air vent. He left no note, just an empty Bible and a legal folder marked Appeal. Heard the news, so proud of you. That's rent for 6 months. But we're moving. Bought a house. You won't be seeing us again. 6 months later, we bought his house. We mailed him. You can remain as our tenant. We expect timely rent. Mateo Rivera and family. We opened El Corazon Restaurante. Luisa ran the kitchen. Emiliano helped stock napkins. Zaraya had her own table. La Mesa de la Justicia. Thanks for watching.